Hey guys, welcome back to Steadfast Diecast. We are going to do some recalibration today, recalibrating the top 48 that are in that case right there. And if you look here, I raised the Raceway by 1.5 inches, and I did that because the cars just did not have enough speed in some of my previous videos to continue to carry themselves across that finish line. So we're going to begin to recalibrate. We're not going to continue to design the strip every video, but this little change, which is probably a big change, was necessary to have good drag strip racing. And so we're going to see what that does to the top 48. So we're going to start with the top 10 today, and then in next videos we'll continue to go through the top 48, and then after that we'll start testing some new cars that have been to the speed shop, have been lubricated, and are ready to try their hand at the case. All right, let's get started. First up, we're going to race the number one car, the DeLorean Time Machine, versus the Chevy Silverado. You should notice that times are going to be a little bit faster, but the car should accelerate really good. 1.478 to a 15.11. All right, let's swap lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. My hope is that these times will not change too much in terms of like the rankings. The rankings won't change too much because I think our testing was accurate in the last for the top 48, and that these shouldn't be too much movement. Anyway, DeLorean wins at 1481. So that is kind of the bar has been set for this track, and we'll keep moving through the top 10. All right, so now the revert, let's see here. This is number 2 revert is going to take on that Black Widow right here. And let's go ahead and put these down the track. All right, number 2 revert versus the Silverado. All right, 1497 to a 1500. All right, let's swap lanes. All right, here we go. Lanes are swapped. Let's see if the revert can pass the Silverado and then challenge for number 1. Ooh, 1499, not enough to beat the revert, and the revert will move on to challenge for the number 1 spot. All right, so if you look here now, this Silverado is going to go right here, and this is where the revert is going to sit if it loses, but we're going to take the DeLorean, and it's going to challenge the DeLorean for the number 1 spot. All right, revert versus DeLorean. Let's see who takes it. Ooh, 1489 to a 1491. Really close race. All right, let's swap lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. Here we go. Ooh, that was tight. A 1482 to a 1486. And the revert just took the number 1 spot. Really good race. All right, so revert is now going to be in the number 1 spot right up here. And the DeLorean will be right there. All right, so now you can see it's like revert city up here. So now my number 5 revert is going to take on that Black Widow. All right, here we go. Number 5 revert versus the Black Widow. Who you got? Oof. 1484 to a 1489. All right, revert takes it. Let's swap lanes. I think what we're getting here with the track is that with that 1.5 inch drop and the cars being consistent going down, it allows the cars to be able to like kind of keep that acceleration. And so, yeah, I like it. I don't think there's going to be too much of a shift, but still good competitive races. These cars are close. Definitely. All right, let's see it. Oof. 1495, and the revert takes it on both sides this time, and we'll move on to challenge the DeLorean. So let's get that right here, put him up here, him here. All right, And Black Widow is going to go right there. And then we're going to take the DeLorean. DeLorean's going to go right there. And the Revert is going to go right there. All right, they're all set. Let's see who can take it. Ooh, Time Machine, 1485 to a 1501. Swap lanes. 1485 is the time to beat. Let's see it. And they knock off the little towel. And there you go, 1478 by the Time Machine. Time Machine holds its spot. All right, now you can see that the two reverts are up there with the Time Machine. Silverado's number 4. Now we're going to have the Roadster Bite challenge the Silverado. This particular Roadster Bite came out of a 5-pack and is my fastest one. So let's see what it can do. Oof, 1499, 1509. Okay, see, they are consistent. This one isn't quite as fast as Silverado, but it shouldn't be because it was ranked behind it. So let's swap lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. Here we go. 1495 by the Silverado, and Silverado holds its spot. All right, now the, what is this? The Dimachini Veloce, I think. If I'm not probably not saying that right. This is currently in the number 6 spot. It's gonna challenge the Roadster Bite. All right, cars are set. Let's see who can take it. Whoa, nearly falls off the track. Woo. All right, let's fix that. Let's get him. And a 1497 is the time to beat. Okay, lanes have been swapped. 1497, time to beat. Woo, 1488 by the Roadster Bite, putting it down. Man, could have done, if it only had done that in the previous round, but it holds off the Dimachini Veloce. Okay, Dimachini Veloce is now going to be challenged by this revert, and this is my number 3 revert. All right, here we go. Let's see if the reverts can take over the top 5. Oof, 1501 to a 1506. Let's swap lanes. All right, 1501, time to beat. Oof. And they smoke it, a 1478 to a 1490. And the revert will challenge the Roadster Bite. All right, the Roadster Bite in the number 5 spot. Can it hold off? And it doesn't quite hold off the revert. 1491 is time to beat. Let's swap lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. 1491 is what the Roadster Bite needs. Whoa. And I don't know what happened. I don't think I set it up on the start gate right, so we're going to rerun that. Okay, clearly something happened at the start gate. I think the one wheel wasn't on, so we'll see. 1491. No, he just, that revert just gets off the gate a lot faster than that Roadster Bite. And there you go. Revert's going to keep moving on. All right, so the revert's fast enough where I just skipped over the, this number 3 revert is already probably faster than the Silverado, so I moved it past that, and it's going to challenge the number 5 revert, which currently holds the number 3 spot. So let's see who can take it. Number 3, number 5. Number 5 is closest to the camera. And 1492 for the number 5 revert. Let's swap the lanes. And, you know, it's amazing what this elevation has added, but it was needed. The cars needed to do it. So, all right, let's see who can do it. 1481, and that is faster than the last race. Let's see. And that is the number 3. So number 3 revert will move on. All right, I'm trying to get the number 2 spot. Here we go, revert. Ooh, Time Machine said not today. 1472 to a 1483. Let's swap lanes. All right, the lanes are swapped. 1472 is the time to beat. Whew, 1481 by the Time Machine. He wins it on both lanes, and he will hold the number 2 spot and keep the reverts from taking over completely. Now, I said he was going to keep the reverts from taking over completely because he's up there. He's already faster than those two. But we still got one more revert right here, and this is my number 7, and he's going to challenge this guy right here. All right, number 7 revert trying to lead a takeover. 1490. Not quite as fast as the others to a 1505. All right, let's swap the lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. Can another revert begin to move up? Ooh, beats it again. 1500 flat, 1.5 flat, and it'll move up. Okay, the revert is now going to take on the Roadster Bite. Number 7 revert. Here we go. 1505 to a 1506. See, this is the reason why I didn't want to skip this Roadster Bite, skip over him, because I knew it would be tight. All right, 1505 is the time to beat. All right, lanes are swapped. Who you got? 1505. Ooh, and the Roadster Bite does it. Man, I'm happy about that. Roadster Bite, pound for pound, I think the fastest car that you can find on the pegs in terms of like just low weight and always consistently fast. All right, now we've got 2 more cars to test for today's video, and the first one will be the Tesla Model S Plaid, and we're going to test it against this guy right here. All right, this is number 8 and 9 cars. Oof. 1506 to a 1511. Close races, close races. All right, let's swap lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. Let's see if the Tesla can overcome it. Oof, cannot. 1497 to a 1508. All right, Dimicini Valace holds it off. All right, last car that gets a test in the video is going to be the Bugatti Bolide. It is going to go up against this Tesla Model Plaid, and to see who's going to round out the top 10. All right, here we go. Top 10, here we go. And a 1588 by the Model Plaid. Wow. If it had done that earlier, then maybe it wouldn't be getting challenged right now. Here we go. All right, here we go. 1488 is the time to beat for the Bugatti Bolide. Sorry about there being less light. Had to close the garage because we got some guys working outside. All good. Last race of tonight. Ooh. And it's a 1514 to a 1515. And the Bugatti Bolide falls short to the Tesla Model Plaid. All right, so before we go, we need to do one more test. I know I said that that was the last race, but the new top time for this track is a 1.472, and that was done by this DeLorean. And so we are going to give this DeLorean another shot against the revert to see who can take that top spot, see if the revert still holds it. 1472 is the top time based on today, and we'll give them 4 races to kind of be able to take each other out. All right, our goal is to beat the 1472. Let's see who can take the top time. 1480 by the DeLorean time machine. Let's switch lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. 1480, time to beat. Ooh, 1483. Time machine got 1485. All right. Not close to that 1472 though. All right, let's swap lanes again. All right, the lanes have been swapped again. Race 3. Let's see who can take it. 1475. All right, got close. All right, time machine 1475, laying it down. Let's see if the revert can beat the 1475. Okay, lanes are swapped. Final race 1475. It's time for the revert to beat. And he doesn't do it. In fact, gets beat. Time Machine beats it on the inside or outside lane. All right. All right, so it is not going to be a revert takeover. The Time Machine holds its #1 spot with that challenge. And I went back through the video, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think both of these cars did put up a 1472 at some point in time in the recalibration. So there it is. My top 10 for Steadfast Diecast Racing has been recalibrated, and we will continue to recalibrate in these next few videos to see what the new standard is. But the new top time is 1472 on the strip at Steadfast Diecast. Have a good day. See you at the next video.